Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking Lesson 5, Order of Operations, Part 1. So you may have heard of this in the past, but we'll talk about how this applies. It's called Pemdas, or Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. This is a mnemonic device, meaning a way to remember certain things that you want to remember. So in this case, what it stands for is, so for PEMDAS, it stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Now, you'll notice that I have multiplication and division on the same line and addition, subtraction. In the past, you may have seen it like this, PEMDAS. And this is kind of correct, but we like to teach that multiplication and division are equal to each other, and you do them just from left to right. Same with addition, subtraction. So if you've seen it like this method before, go ahead and get rid of that guy. Okay, and so for our parentheses, the big thing with parentheses is it's not necessarily that you're going to be dealing with parentheses, but it's grouping. And we'll get into this more when you get into pre-algebra and algebra 1. But I want you to think of parentheses not always as parentheses. Also because, if you learned in the previous lesson, we sometimes write multiplication like this. That's parentheses. But in the terms of PEMDAS, it is not parentheses. That's actually multiplication. Parentheses can mean so many different things. When we get into adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers, you'll sometimes see that the parentheses are just protecting a negative number. Okay, so that's why we call it grouping instead. I think that's a better way of thinking about it. Also, PEMDAS is not, I like to sit with my legs tucked under me, so sorry, I keep showing my knee. PEMDAS is not a hard and fast rule. There are some things that you don't follow on this, and so it just takes a lot of practice. Let's dive right into it. Example number 1. So we're going to do our subtraction, addition, subtraction, because I don't see any parentheses, exponents, or multiplication, division. So we're going to do our addition, subtraction from left to right. 18 minus 6, that would be 12, minus 3. Notice I'm writing what I'm doing. You can also just like underline it so you're showing whoever your teacher is that you are doing this correctly. All right, 12 minus 3, that's going to give me 9, so my answer is 9. For B, you'll notice it's the same numbers. 18 minus 6 minus 3, but this time we have parentheses around here. That we need to do first. So we're going to say 18 minus 6 minus 3 gives me 3. Now, 18 minus 3, that's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 15. Making sure I got my arithmetic right on that one. So you'll see that the parentheses make a big difference here, right? This one didn't have parentheses, this one did, and we have 9 versus 15. Same with division. So 18 divided by 6, that's going to give me 3. So I did this part first. 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So my answer is 1 there. Now over here we want to do the parentheses first. 18 divided by, and then 6 divided by 3 gives me 2. 18 divided by 2, that's 9. So again, you can see even though the numbers are in the same order, you're getting 2 different answers. So you've got to really pay attention to your your order of operations. Okay, this is a fun one because this next one, you'll see, remember this fraction bar just means division, right? Well, if you look at PEMDAS, you see that division comes before addition and subtraction. But in this case, we can't divide until we do addition and subtraction. So this guy right here is part of our implied grouping. So we're going to do this first. So we're going to do our addition and then we'll do our division at the end. So we've got 12 over 3. Now we're ready to do our division. We end up with 4. Good work. All right, guys, here are the practice problems from the book. Go ahead and pause the video, do those, come on back, and we'll go through it. All right, now that you're back, here are the answers. Pause the video, double check your work. If you got those correct, good, you're done. If you didn't, let's work on those together. All right, 16 minus 3 plus 4. 16 minus 3, that's going to give us 13 plus 4. 13 plus 4 is 17. I should have mentioned this before, but notice how I'm working downwards. I'm not adding an equal sign in here. I'm not saying 13 plus 4 equals 17. If it doesn't start with an equal sign, don't throw one in there. All right, this guy we're going to do next. So 16 minus our parentheses, which are 7. 16 minus 7 gives us 9. All right, so you can, again, see the parentheses make a big difference on that one. All right, for this guy, we've got 24 divided by parentheses first. 4 times 3 gives us 12. 24 divided by 12 gives us 2. Over here, 24 divided by 4, that's going to be 6. So I did this bit first, times 3 is 18. All right, guys, so for this one, we're going to do, again, go straight in order, division. 24 divided by 6, that's going to give me 4. Bring down that 2. 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. All right, so I'm just going to double check my answers as we're going along because I make mistakes, man. All right, so 24 divided by, now we're going to do the stuff in the parentheses first, which is 3. That gives me 8. So again, you can see the big difference there, right? All right, this one, there's that implied grouping again. We're going to do some adding first before we do division. Once we do that, I just said don't add equal signs. That is different when you're dealing with fractions because it's kind of hard. You end up working, if you work downwards, you end up taking up a huge big space, but you'll kind of get the hang of it on what you're supposed to do. Generally, you should work downwards, but when you have ones with fraction bars, it's a little difficult. All right, so this guy over here, we end up with 20, saying a lot, and then 8, that's going to be 4. 20 divided by 4, we get 5 is our answer. Oh, 5 for both of those. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, great work, and we'll see you next time.